Oh, what's up, y'all? This is Shadow Rockin' Profo Won of the Flora Gangs and Knuckleneck Tribe, and you are watching The Trades, a show about breaking, hip-hop, and the business of. So, we have a really crazy dope show today. I'm very honored for this, but before we do that, I want to talk about a few things. For last week's episode, we had the issue of African Bambaataa. I was talking about African Bambaataa as far as like him promoting the peace, love, unity, and having fun, and stopping it and solving beef with breaking and instead of just talking it out. And Crazy Legs actually, he messaged me and my brother and talked about who was the first one on media to address it like that, to saying that they solved problems through breakdancing. And it was actually Chino Action from the New York City Breakers in an interview that was on That's Incredible. And I don't know if it was either 82 or 83. And I think you saw the clip. There was a clip where he said the freshest kids in the freshest kids. That was the clip with the interview. So I just want to make a correction because, since we are a show that's on weekly, I can't necessarily edit the vlog, but I can address it from week to week just like any other news channel. So before I introduce our guest, I want to say that I'm wearing my footwork ring. I'm trying to dress fresh because we got a man who defines all of that. And I want to introduce y'all the man himself, Mr.Wiggles. Give it up for Mr. Wiggles. How you doing, Wiggs?
I'm good now, my brother. Good talking to you. I'm happy to be on your show.
Oh man, very much appreciative. I think I've had a lot of viewers that normally don't hit me up for questions, and the whole just yesterday, we confirmed it yesterday, and it was boom, question. People that my regular audience, you're definitely broadening my audience just for being on the show. So thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure, my brother.
Yeah. So the first question is from my man London Long, all the way from Lowell, Massachusetts. He asks, what's the origin of handstyles? And I'll modify the question. And how did you get involved into graffiti?
Okay, the origins of what I call handstyles is basically how I'm describing it from a graffiti writer, dancer perspective. We always say handstyles, talking with the hands. As a dancer, really it's jailhouse rock, 52 blocks, and I'm adding all the hard rock gestures you see in the b-boy scene and just shit that looks cool, Yeah. And so as far as the origin of what it is, it's street fighting. And what I'm doing is nothing normal in my time. I think that a lot of cats just slept on it, forgot it.
Right.
But every time I throw it up, you see an old school head jump on and say, oh shit, he's doing jailhouse, or he's doing 52 pickup, or he's doing 52 blocks. Or, you're going to see an old school cat reference it on my post and say, I'm making it more evident. But to be honest, man, I didn't put it into the dance. It's been in the dance, in every gesture of a b-boy and a rocker. Yeah, you could see elements of these hand styles. I didn't make it up. I'm just a practitioner of it that did it on the day-to-day on the street corner with my crew. If you look at my real crew, Phase 2, Fascinating, 156, that's all we did every day in the corner. Rough housing, slap boxing, but we did it with these blocks that came out of Rikers. And I happen to live near, my neighborhood is near a small prison for teenagers.
Oh, shoot, okay.
That's famous for it.
Yeah.
Spofford Correctional Facility. That's where Tyson was put. I mean, I've seen Dynamic Rockers in there. I've seen all kinds of motherfuckers in there.
Right.
And everybody knows this. I didn't make it up. And I just make it more evident that I'm doing it in my popping and in the b-boy flavors. Every b-boy in New York City is gonna gesture like that.
Yeah. And as far as the graffiti, your hand styles and graffiti, and how did you get involved with that? As far as what age did you start?
Well, again, a lot of us would throw our years back. The key to a cat in my age group and throwing our years back is when did we do it fucking around, or when were we conscious of we doing it? Yeah, I did it when I was a kid. I was learning how to tag since I was a shorty. Right. But I didn't make a conscious effort to write until 78, 79.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was tagging. I got tags. I got papers from when I'm a kid tagging.
Right.
You're going to hear a lot of cats throw their dance back and their writing back to when they was a baby. You know, we wasn't really conscious. We were just little kids, you know. I'm going to say 78, 79 when I wanted to be a writer, when I did it with the purpose of being a writer. And I learned from my cousins, you know, NAC 143, if you're out there, CYA crew. That's where my real foundation was in Crazy Young Artists, creative young artists. And they're famous, you know. They both did their thing. Mac is the one that brought Henry Chalfant to the yards and taught him how to take pictures of trains.
Right,
and then Days is worldwide phenomenal writer. He's just one of the top stylists. And they're my family. I mean, these guys have been in my household since we were kids. They seen me when I was breaking in 76, 77 at Mom's house. You know, our family gatherings, Puerto Rican gatherings. So, you know, 78, 79, I started, and the first thing they taught me was the signature, how to tag.
Right. What did you start, what did you start doing burners and pieces and stuff like that?
Well, you see, I had my problem being a writer, and especially when I got in PC5 in 79. I got in PC5 80, 81. I wanted to be in when I first met Scene and Doge. You know, the story goes, a lot of us from my age group were writers.
Right.
We were not dancers. You know, a lot of cats got us messed up. We either quit dancing or we weren't dancing. I quit dancing. And we weren't the top dogs like a Crazy Legs was. You know, he was the top dog. You know, I was just a decent dancer, decent b-boy. And writing became my new thing, and got back into dancing because we all went to A&D. Me, Doze, Fable, Lady Pink, Scene, TC5, Mayor, a lot of prominent writers, Pays, Quasar, we were all Webb, my boy Webb. We were all going to A&D since 1979. That was our year. And when I got in that crew, I realized, you know, with the dope squad, I had a complex on my legs. So, you know, for me, writing with CYA there was so advanced and technical.
Right.
You know, I never gave myself props for my piecing back then. I had pieces up. I would never take a picture. I thought I was horrible because I didn't get to learn from cats my age. I had to learn with these amazing dudes. So I considered everything whack and everything that they did dope.
Right.
Even amongst my boys. So, you know, to be honest, I didn't develop a real letter style that I could show days in them until much later. But when I look at my pieces now, I was talking to my boy Webb, TC5, and he said, well, Wiggles, you know, all your old pieces are part of your growth.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I never looked at it like that, man.
Right.
Writing was such a do-or-die thing back then, more hardcore than any other element. I mean, way more hardcore. You're going to throw your hands up more times writing than you are dancing.
That's real.
Being a DJ.
That's
so
real.
I took it a little different, and he told me that. Now I regret not having pictures of my work.
Because I feel it. Like it's like you want to. It's kind of like looking back and you're like, damn, that's where I was, but it's kind of fresh too. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's where I was. You know, I was whack or whatever. You know what I mean? That's dope though. That's dope, man. So as far as, you know, the second question is a mixed question. It's a question of mine and my homie Dennis Infante. So my part of the question is, you guys spread the true school hip-hop movement in the early and mid-'90s. And I remember there was a conversation online with you and Stretch saying that there was no dance in it. And then to connect Dennis's question with it is that how did Electric Boogie play a part to, like, the party rocking and the dancing to the hip hop freestyle dancing? So let's mix all that up.
Good question. The true school thing was a leg slogan, and the legs was nice with the slogans, man. Back then, it started with me and Crazy Legs doing an interview for Everybody Dance Now. Go on YouTube, look up Everybody Dance Now. It featured Mr. Wiggles, Crazy Legs, Willie Ninja, MC Hammer, Paul Abdul. It was a dope documentary for that time.
Yeah.
And when we left that filming, the interview, you can watch the interview now, and still on YouTube. We left there about 89, I think, and wondered, why did we keep saying breakdance? That was the beginning of us realizing everything that we did wrong when we were kids. You know, we were not the generation that should have been explaining it. You know, we were the kids. You know, the original generation were gone, or they were locked up, or they were drugged out. You know, so to be honest, the whole true school thing was us correcting ourselves.
Right.
Trying to fix all the things we fucked up. That's really, if you had to make it like a movement, it was Rocksteady, it was me, Legs, Kenny, Fable, having discussions, and then going back to everybody from Track 2 to Melly Bell to KG, finding OG B-Boys, building with Phase 2, and getting as much information. You know, we went on a mission to correct our mistakes that we did when we were kids, that we knew we said a lot of corny shit, or other people said corny shit and we validated it.
Right.
So that's that concept right there, the true school concept.
Yeah.
And as far as the boogie, really, to be honest, the dance that helped energize breaking after the freak dance era, you know, freak dancing. If you was a hip-hop dancer, you was going to freak 78, 79. Breaking, I'm sorry, man. If you was a B-boy and you telling me that you went to jams in 78, 79, I was at these jams. I was that age.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you went, but you wasn't breaking.
Right.
You was probably freaking. You were doing the freak.
Right.
And the freak is a New York group that got famous in Studio 54, and it blew up into a song, Freak Out. But it's really, I had one OG say that that's the real dance that blew up hip-hop in the late 70s, before the commercial era.
Yeah.
Freak dancing. That's when everybody changed their name to Freaky this, Freaky that, Freaky T, Freaky John. So freak dancing was a big thing. Yeah. And if you look at the early boogie, we didn't know how to pop. Boogie was basically a B-boy trying to pop.
Yeah.
And it was really, really whack. We didn't know how to pop. We didn't know the word pop. We called it, what do we call it? We had a foot snapping.
Snapping?
We didn't know what popping was, you know, until Loose Goose blew up.
Right.
Really, we were calling it snapping, and then the word that was popular was electric boogie by Electric Boogaloo's in 79 and 80, 81.
Right.
And we did it with the freak, and we did it with the bounce, and we did it with, it looked more like a party dance when we first saw it. It really didn't look like the dance it is now.
Yeah.
It looked kind of the way it should look, like a hip-hop dance. I never, you know, when I first saw it, I didn't look at it as anything like robotic. I looked at it as like strange, you know?
Right.
And then Bruce brought in the word pop lock because he came in from California.
Right,
From San Diego. They had the Lockatrons. They had their own terms. Right. And then we got more into trying to learn how to pop. Right. And then Sugar Pop came to New York and really schooled us on pop as 81, 82.
Yeah.
And we dropped the whole boogie vibe. But if you look at Loose Joint and if you look at Mark Quest and you look at Stretch, they were boogie boys.
Right.
You know, I knew Joints when he was a kid too, and Joints was a nasty boogie boy, and Stretch was well known in the city too. Right. They were young boogie boys. So they kept that kind of flavor, and they doing it the way it should have been done, like a hip hop dance. It's not like a New Yorker b-boy trying to pop. Right. We were corny. So basically, they did it with the bounce, with the freak. They did it with the Running Man, with the RoboCop. They flipped it into a level where it should be. You know, and I thought that whole boogie vibe was important because it was another b-boy. I was a b-boy. You know, look, you know, don't let these motherfuckers try to tell you different. I don't care what age group you're from. And I don't give a fuck who you are. You were my boy. You were not my boy. Whatever. You're not gonna tell me I wasn't no motherfucking b-boy. Fuck that.
That's why I put the clip I did.
I did with a b-boy vibe.
Yeah, that's why I put the clip that you know to promote the show was like, it was you breaking, like, you know what I mean? Because that's the spirit that you got. And okay, so and this is just to add to the question. So were you going to the Latin Quarters like when it was really popping as far as like?
I went to Latin Quarters in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
I was going to Latin Quarters. Oh yeah, come on now. I was diehard hip hop even before Latin Quarters. The underground. There was a lot of other clubs before Union Square. Before it was Union Square, that was our clubs. That was the underground, and there was other names for those clubs. The Roxy and all of these places turned into other things. Right. Roxy turned into 1018. I think it was the underground that turned into Union Square. The Latin Quarters was always the Latin Quarters, and I was there when the new era of hip hop came in. And I was there when Ultramagnetic first played their song, when PE first performed. Well, I was there. Me and Fable was in the house, and all the dancers was there. You know, a lot of b-boys was there.
Do you remember?
One was just young. I was already hanging with Scott LaRock way before. Right. Scott used to actually ride the train back with me after the Roxy. I knew Scott for a while. Scott was a real cat, a real good brother.
That's
crazy. Telling me about what he was about to do with BDP, and I got to meet all of them at the Harlem State Building when they put the crew together because I was really tight with Scott. I would get some dances.
Right. So my question is, like, do you remember Hammer coming to, like, Latin Quarter and trying to, like, learn all the dancers? Because for us in the West Coast, obviously it was Hammer. Do you remember anything?
I don't remember that. I do remember times when we and Hammer and his crew ran into each other, and this is later though, much later now. But I always thought the Hammer was a nasty dance. I didn't really feel that there's a lot of dancers that were hip hop, that were born from hip hop, and then there was other black social dancers that were becoming popular in other states that got put into the hip hop movement, like the trendy dancers of LA. So I always felt like, they were just learning the basics, but they had their own vibe too, and they already had Oakland Boogaloo and all this other stuff. I always paid attention to how they got down and realized they had their own shit too,
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, just like, because I'm just doing research on Latin Quarters right now because everyone kept talking about it, and just to hear this from you, because, like, no one in the b-boy scene, maybe Quickstep maybe has talked about it, or maybe Legs has talked, but not like, like I said, that's why I do this show, so we could get in depth about it, you know what I mean?
Still going there, that when I was there, and it was just opening up, because Bronx Style Bob, I know you're out there, Bob, and he was the host. He's one of my boys. Look at my pictures, and you'll see Bob in that picture. Bob was a nasty BX MC. He ran a b-boy crew called Bronx Style Crew that I was down with, and Freddie Fresh was there. He was the leader of a nasty crew coming out the Bronx that was coming up, and one of his members went back to PR, was murdered, and it was a tragedy for the crew at the time. And I ran with them for a minute. Bob was the host, one of the hosts with Islam and Mel, and then you had Paradise going there, who became X-Clan. Now, if they're going to say they were there, they're going to have to name. They're gonna have to name drop. I'm not that motherfucker. You're gonna say you was there. You're gonna have to name drop and who was there and who got down, who performed, who was the DJ. And me and Fable was everywhere. Me and Fable and Locatron John. He was running with us at the time. And
So would you say that vibe? Would you say that vibe from the block party kind of transferred into the kind of like that scene in Latin Quarter and stuff? Like almost
only in clubs like Latin Quarter, clubs like the Underground. Yes, what we call a block party is different. I'm gonna correct people on that. Even my OGs, I'm gonna correct because we get carried away sometimes. I mean, a block party was a family affair. A block party is not a hip hop jam, even though we say it comes from block party. It's a b-boy jam, what we call a hip hop jam, was a whole another motherfucking vibe. And you don't want to go from a block party vibe and then walk into a park where they're cutting breaks. And let's forget about the names where they're cutting breaks. Forget about what is a jam. Who is there. If they're cutting breaks at that jam in that dark ass park, people that was a signal. If you hear Rocket in the Pocket playing slow and they're cutting the break, a lot of motherfuckers wouldn't enter the park. So let's make that clear too. A block party was different, and yes, the Latin Quarter caught that vibe of, when you cut breaks, it almost sounds violent. Back today you want to break. Back then, break meant many things. And when you walk into the Latin Quarters and when you walk into the Underground and they started playing new drum machine style music with the Lin drum and the 808, it caught that vibe because nobody was rocking disco music behind rappers anymore. Now it was this hardcore repetitive loop of a Bernard Purdy style beat or the big beat, beats that were more attractive for the hard rocks, were the slower tracks, the slower breaks. So the vibe, it carried that vibe for sure.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I think this is the first time I've even heard and even came up with the questions. Like, wait a second, because I can see what you're saying. Because I can see what you're saying about the block parties be a family thing. Like, it makes sense. You know what I mean? The kids are out. Grandpa's is out, music is blasting, blasting. It makes sense. It's like the whole, but then when you're saying at the parks, and there's a certain sound as breaks being cut, that's totally a different type of thought, when I'm in my imagination.
People did not want to, either you was in the park and you wanted to leave. That's why I have to pull a lot of rockers that was around that time. I got to pull their car because I was there in a lot of them jams, and a lot of motherfuckers would walk out the park. If you heard a dude cut the record, it's the same as somebody scratching a record while he's playing at a club, and everybody turn around and go, "What the fuck?" Back then, touching the record was not normal. You had jams that let the records play. We refer to them as disco,
Right.
But really, we didn't have a word for disco. You know, it was just a jam.
Right.
And then you had a b-boy. They would call it a b-boy jam. You know, most of the word that common was a b-boy jam. They didn't call it a hip-hop jam yet.
Right.
And then the b-boy, b-girl jam, it was a little more, it was a different vibe. And a lot of people just didn't like it. It's not that they were scared.
Right.
They just didn't like people fucking with the song while you're trying to dance.
Right. Yeah, that's dope, man. So we're at the last question, man. It's already been like 15 or 20 minutes, and you just like blasted. You're blasting everyone on the internet, Wiggs. You're blasting them. All right, so finally, to why we're here and why like this got my attention was that everyone's talking about the Olympics, and I know you had a comment on it, and it's like we need to do something. And right away, boom, I saw Cypher Killers, and it's like, this is it. This is like, this is like kind of like. It's not about the footage. It's not about, the competition. It's about, like, and you're a credible guy because you're a historian. Like, like we talked earlier before we went online, is that, you did the breakaways. You did the hip-hop timeline. I remember I had the hip-hop timeline, and it was your timeline. So who else more to, like, put something like this and, like, to get on that list? Now, I don't know about the ranking, or I don't know, and that's where you can explain right now, but no one's done this, and it just makes sense. Like, it's almost like wearing your shirt at a jam. Like, before there was videotapes or internet, who's that guy? He has his name on his shirt. There goes so-and-so. And it's almost like, and then you're using Old English, you're using these, like, explain Cypher Killers to the audience out there.
Yeah. But I'm not the kind to take credit, pat myself in the back or anything. 2017, I got to do, because I got to correct a lot of people out there that have been blasted. I've always been into educating online since I first got my first computer, trying to put some shit online to make people think about the culture. So that's something that I've always done. There's a lot of dope events that benefited from that knowledge and that use it, which is all good. It's the beauty of giving back to the community, is watching people do it, and you got a lot of people out there that take it for granted where they got the knowledge from. So being on the internet and try to blast some new concept is nothing new to me. If you track my history online, that's all I ever did. My first website was educational, doing research, building, and dropping knowledge. So that's my thing, and also venting out. Nothing new. Mr.Wiggles always been, I'm known for that shit. Putting out a nice, good vent, make people pissed and shit. And the Cypher thing, let's be real. I've been talking about Cypher and the word Cypher. We even analyzed why we keep saying Cypher for. We never said Cypher,
Yeah.
That's a 5% word. And we schooled all our students from Rocksteady, the ones that are in Rocksteady and the ones that are no longer Rocksteady, still building on the knowledge we gave them on Cypher and making dope battles and events from it. So the whole Cypher Killer thing really was me venting out on the Olympic thing and the judging at recent events where I saw dope B-boys and B-girls smoke the shit out of their opponents. And I'm going to be frank, there was a B-girl who was nasty, who murked her round. Now, she could have been a boy or girl, that round still counted. Then I saw the other girl do a round where I said, now, if that was a boy doing that round, he wouldn't even pass selection. Why are we giving her props? That was the whole point of the no easy prop movement. Don't give girls easy props. But why did this girl do a half-ass power round that if a guy did it, he wouldn't pass? Her timing was off. She looked weak. She couldn't stick or freeze. But because she tried to do these power moves, the crowd gave it to her. She won the whole fucking battle. And my girl, who was nasty, whether she was a boy or a girl, her round was relevant, lost. So that was another issue. And there's a lot of judging that goes on that I feel, why aren't the points and the caliber raised for points that have style and finesse? Why aren't these cats passing? And the truth is, we have already systematically programmed the events and the competitors to expect that if you dance, you lose. And I've heard from several judges tell dancers, don't dance so much. So, these things bother me. Along with the lines, there's no more James Brown. I don't know when the fuck was James Brown never relevant anymore. Never understood that. How is people telling me that James Brown is old school? I'm like, that shit is never old, man. James Brown will always be relevant at a B-boy party, at a B-boy jam. So things like this culminated to me saying, I vent too much. I see people flipping out on me, like telling me shit and subliminal messages, and they're not wrong. I'm not. These are my brothers. They're probably mad at me for overventing. Like, do something. something, basically. And that's what I kept hearing. I said, I'm a doer. So, that's easy for me. I could create a concept. And it's really not the concept as much as lending my name with the credibility of a dancer that deserves it.
Yes.
And I want to lend my name to cats that are out of the tradition and that are making it evident that they're there for the jam. Right. And then by doing that, I'm able to help get these cats some notoriety. To be honest, man, I feel like a cat that kills a circle is equally or more important than the cat that wins a contest. If I'm going to hire a cat, it's probably going to be the cat that rocks the circle more and stays in it. You can see the knowledge that he's putting out there in 20 rounds or in how he walks in and out the circle. Right. So there's a lot of things that I feel are important that a lot of the cats that ain't getting that props and the notoriety need to start getting their name on the same level, sponsorship-wise, gig-wise, travel-wise, judge-wise. These cats should be judging and battling and competing and teaching worldwide. I
agree. Yo, and this is it's funny because me and my boy were talking about this 3 years ago, and it's just and we didn't know how to come about it, and here you are, boom, you just put it out there, just in a graphic. You said you shaped everything in one graphic, man. You didn't make a video. It's just one graphic, and you just.
Brother's gonna make the video.
I know.
Fresh video.
Yeah. Rob's the meme master now, and he's learning the little animations on. I was like, and right away I was like, give a shout out to Rob Nasty out there. He's asleep in China right now, or whatever. But yeah. But like I said, that's crazy. And honestly, the reason why I came up with the trades because I was my grammar's bad. I'm bad at writing. My spelling sucks. So it's if I rant on Facebook, it's not gonna be as impactful as if I talk in front of the camera. You know what I mean? So that's just like you. That's the
I agree. They see your personality.
Exactly.
I think that's more important.
Exactly.
They know who you are and they can build with you better on that level. We're not writers in that sense, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nobody wants to read a book written by Mr.Wiggles. Man. That's just gonna be in all caps. commas after everything. Everything got an exclamation point on it. My daughter read something I wrote recently. She was cracking up, man. Wiggles will never be putting a book out no time soon.
That's real. So it's it's either we dance or we talk. And if you're meant to talk, then talk in front of people. Then you're meant to talk. And I think and that's the reason. It's I feel like I'm part of the movement as far as changing things. And definitely, like I said, in one graphic you did it. In one graphic, and now there's gonna be, it's crazy. Everyone's right now. Everyone,
you putting it up too. I think you get attention.
Yo, I have to. That's what the show is about. You know what I mean? Everyone's covered the Olympics. Everyone has said what they need to say until it happens. Then much more can't be said. But we need to focus on the things that are important. And like I said, you're very credible. And like you said, to validate those names. I'm sure those guys were I know Peps was happy and the thing is I've seen Peps the whole year last year 2 years. I was oh my god. And at Radical Force 2 years ago he was calling out everyone. I was I'm not in shape, man. If he calls me out he's gonna catch me. I know it. He's gonna catch me. He's there he is, and I already know.
Now he's a target. I made his life miserable. Now he's a target.
Yeah, exactly.
He's to a target. Now he's a motherfucking target.
But
also to give credit to, there's a lot of credible people that went on. I put a small room together. You're in the room now. Oh, no, I didn't put you in because I thought you might get votes too. And I did put your brother in. Right. I want to be real. There's cats that I want in the room, but I'm saying, let me get them a chance to make noise too, because I know there's cats that still want to get down. Right. But we did put a group in together to make this vote, and there's about 30 people in the room so far. It's a private room.
Okay.
The Cypher Killers voting room. Not everyone voted because again it's a new concept, and people probably felt they want to wait till this year because they didn't really, I didn't pay attention either. I didn't have enough names, that I could put. I had 3 or 4 real names that I could put. So I think that this year is going to be an even important year. But let me tell you, it was hands down for Pep.
Yeah. Hands down.
I had some good votes too.
Yeah.
But he had it locked. It's a big win, and no one argued that shit in the room.
Yeah. Well, so can you name the names that are on there, so that way when I do it in post?
I don't want to put them on blast yet. I'm gonna let them. I'm
Okay.
gonna let this get past and then let them stop because we're gonna do quarterly. You know, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it quarterly.
Right.
So what we'll do is the next time we do it, we'll say this is a quarterly joint so people can see where everybody's at.
Right.
And by that point, I think then we'll have everyone comfortable with voting for it. So we'll have scouts all over the world that want to be in the room and put their vote in, and then we'll start, letting them say, yeah, I was a voter and I picked so and so. I don't want to put them on blast yet.
Okay. Yeah. No. As far as the voters, can you name down the list as far as like who made it, who's in your list? Because I don't have it in front of me. Sorry. Do you got it?
Oh, who else made it?
No. Who's on the list right now? Who's number let's not go by ranking. Let's just go by the graphic because I know you're still working it out and stuff like that. So Peps was one.
The name that came in the most, honestly, was Pepito. He had all the votes. The other names had good votes. Intact and John had good votes. Torb, I hadn't been seeing him in the circles yet. And Steez, and I've heard good things about them.
Steez, okay.
Mark,
a lot of people are like Steez from Japan or Kid Steez. Like, which one is it?
I think it's the kid from Japan, because a lot of these cats are talking overseas, but I don't know because again that vote didn't come from me.
I could say that I did see him a lot actually. I did around the jams. I did see him a lot. You know what I mean? Like he's always getting down.
I think it's probably him then because again this list that was put together, everybody was throwing up names, and a lot of us wasn't even sure of each other's names. Like, wow, what circle did? So it's still in the early stages, and that's why I don't want to put people on blast. But all those names got a lot of votes, and I think everybody up there deserved to be on the list. And there's a couple more people I could have put on the list, but I said I'm going to keep the 7 because again, I don't want to say like a lot of times we're looking at it like nobody's watching the circles no more. And I'm being honest. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Now we got it out the way. Now I'm really going to be peeping out the circles and who's killing it. And I think that's the whole point, is the awakening of paying attention to what counts. And that's what's happening in the circles.
And it's crazy because the concept isn't just like, how they have a Cypher King or Queen at a jam. This is like a long-running thing, and it shows super consistency over like, I'm trying to get that prize, that jam, when it's like, if it's quarterly or even like, every 6 months or a year, it's like, you never know. And it's just like, are you consistent in those ciphers, like for real? Like,
and we're not trying to give away, Jay Scales had a good point about not rewarding people for doing what they should be doing. And I agree with her 100%. So she has an event that's cipher-based, so I understand totally what she means. I don't think it's about a reward as much as awareness.
Yes.
Now, being aware of these cats is a reward in itself, because now we leveled the playing field. And I'll be honest, we have to figure both sides of the coin. A lot of these cats want to eat too. And I feel they deserve it. So you get a cat like Pepito, hopefully with the major events, they notice this brother and say, he should be up here judging. So, we want to get these cats notoriety so that they can get the same opportunities that a cat that won a major contest, and we want to bring this up as far as like awareness. We don't want to hand out awards, because I agree with Skills. We're not trying to reward you for doing something that you should be doing anyway. But we do want to bring awareness and get these cats their notoriety. The notoriety.
I agree. I mean, that's what it's really about. Like, for me, it's not really about the wins so much as about like, did you make your mark? And because sometimes, like you said, like in a competition, someone would like kill it beyond recognition and they don't win, but everyone's gonna, you said it in a video, you're in that everyone can dance now, you're always gonna remember that move. I remember that move you did back in like 95 or whatever, and that stands out more, and that's quoted from you. Look it up, everyone in dance now.
That's a good one, I forgot.
Yo, I live my life by that, man. Like, come on.
Man made also another good point, is now when you see a battle in the circle, cats are going to be more tactical. And you're going to see the real tricks of the trade, like where cats like Kenny and Legs, where I saw how they honed in people and how they took them to deep water and drowned them, how they knew how to retaliate because they knew they had all the time in the world. Now, a lot of those type of B-boys, the ones that are really tactical, that are going to humiliate you in 20 or not, I say 20, that's a Puerto Rican word for a lot. I don't know if it's going to be 10 or 20, but a cat that's going to take you the long haul is going to be more tactical, and we need to see more battles that are more tactical.
Right.
That they have time to plant, to set up traps for you.
Yeah.
And I remember them days, and I seen, cat like Ken Swift take a motherfucker at a distance, and I seen dudes taking a knee. And once they took a knee, cat saw Kenny go house on dude. And I've seen it many times, and I've seen Legs has the ability to set you up and make you throw everything that you want to throw, and then next thing you know, he's manhandling you. He's punking you, he's manhandling you, and he also has the ability to pull out a move out of nowhere that no one's ever seen. He just has this way of recapturing the crowd back on his side. I've seen him do it many times, seen him do it with Little Left. I've seen him do it in B Street when he pulled the sneakers off. I've never seen that move before, He has this thing about him that he knows how to captivate the crowd and get the crowd back. We want to see that, in the battle.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, I hate to say this, but y'all gotta end the show, man. I got. No, man. We gotta continue this. Maybe there has to be a part 2, some down the line. Maybe do an update on how the Cypher Killer thing is going down. You know what I mean? Maybe in 6 months or something like that, how it's going, and update everyone.
Most definitely, my brother. God bless you. Keep doing your thing, and very proud of you and your brother and what you guys are accomplishing. And
thank you.
Back you guys up 100%. Blessings to everybody that's listening. All
right. Give it up to Mr. Wiggles. Peace. I'll give you a call later. I'll text you.
And I'm out.
Yo. Damn. My mind is blown. This is crazy. I give it up to Mr. Wiggles, man. He dropped bombs, and it's an honor. So I gotta head out soon. Let me do the rundown real quick. Check out Cypher Killers. Check out all his YouTube. Check out Everyone Can Dance Now. I remember watching that video. It was on PBS, and I watched it around 91, and he was on there, and he said that, you remember the move and that's why I always tell my students, man, it's not about the win. It's about everyone remembering that time you killed it. Straight up. All right, starting the rundown. This Saturday in Las Vegas, we got Breakbeat Cowboys giving a shout out to Smurf and Ruin for Raw City Underground. Their live stream is coming up soon. January 21st in Boulder, Colorado, we got Rockers Rumble. I'll be out there judging. The same day in LA, we got Cypher Addicts. Yo, crazy exhibition battles. You want to see what Wiggles is talking about and the people that J Skills picked? Cypher Addicts, LA, January 21st. Up next, we got Rocco Rock in Marin. 4-on-4 under 18 battle. Cujo is going to be judging. He's going to be out here doing workshops too. So check that out, January 28th. And of course, every year, March 17th to the 19th, we got Radical Force Jam in Singapore. Hanchai Town. Yo, that's where I see Pepito call out, why not bounce? I was like, this guy's on a mission. I got to go hide. May 19th and 20th, we got Massive Monkeys, Seattle, Washington. You already know the deal. There's rumors it's a crew battle. You didn't hear it. You heard it here, but it might be a rumor. But yeah, crew battle. Footwork battle. Massive Monkeys. All right, September 1st to the 3rd, we got Melting Pot in Honolulu, Hawaii. With a 2-on-2 with Vicious Vic and Hijack doing an exhibition battle. And earlier in my IG live, me and Skillroy, we had all the Hawaii guys say that Skillroy is gonna kill me. All right, and yo, great show. Thanks for everyone for watching. No one had any questions because everyone was like, let's just listen. This is the first time no one had any questions on the trades ever. Yo, that's respect. That's how much we're like, oh, Wiggles, just keep talking. All right. You can contact me at Facebook/Profo Won, capital FLGZ, or on Instagram at Profo_FLGZ. Yo, hashtag the trades B-boy. I am Profo Won, and I'm out. Peace.